As we enter and celebrate this Holy Week, we meditate, reflect, and remember the suffering and death of Jesus. And when we do that, we also need to remember what his mother Mary suffered as well. For she was right there with him, suffering as she watched her son bear so much out of love. It's often been said that the most pain the human heart can ever experience is watching the death of a child. Mary not only watched the death of her son, but she had to watch him be tortured. She had to watch him be whipped and crucified and was powerless to stop it. I've often thought how Mary's heart must have been broken, not only by the pain that Jesus suffered, but the fact that she was powerless to sweep in and save her baby boy like any mother would want to do. Mary, as Our Lady of Sorrows, is truly something for us to think about during this Holy Week. For Mary's heart was truly pierced, as Simeon had foretold, by a pain and a sorrow we can only imagine. And Mary's darkest hour had to come as Jesus was taken down from the cross and placed in her arms, and she held the lifeless body of her son. How her heart must have remembered that first time she held him on Christmas, when her heart was filled with such joy as a baby. And here it was, with absolute pain and suffering. Mary didn't know what was next, but somehow she held on to her faith. Somehow she must have continued to pray and plead with God to show her the light, to help her understand. My friends, that's a great example for us. For like Mary, we know how difficult and challenging life can be. When things are difficult, when we experience pain and suffering, do we cling to our faith as she did? Do we struggle and strive to still stay faithful and to see God and to trust that somehow God will see us through? It is that image, the image of the Pietà, of Mary holding the lifeless body of her dead son, that is the constant reminder of hope. For how she was able to continue to believe and hope in the midst of such anguish and pain should inspire us to do the same in our lives. Mary's a great example of faith. She's a great example of steadfastness and devotion. During this Holy Week, let us be inspired by what she suffered and what she bore to continue to remain faithful to Christ in our lives. This is Father John, and we hope to see you soon here at Ascension.